everybody! Today I wanted to show you guys how I curl my hair on a pretty regular basis. Say hi to Poppy. She's not happy that I'm not holding her, so she's probably gonna throw a temper tantrum in a second. But for now we're gonna move on. I have really thin, fine hair. Just so you know, everybody's hair type is different, so how you curl your hair might change a little bit depending on what your hair type is. For me personally, since I cut my hair shorter in December, I've really enjoyed kind of getting to play around with it and figure out how I haven't really changed anything, to be honest. But it just looks a little bit different when it's shorter. So for reference, this is my hair with absolutely nothing happening. I washed it last night. I let it air dry, which is my typical routine. I almost never blow dry my hair, mostly because I'm lazy, but also because I try to limit the heat that I put on my hair because it is so fine and thin. It can get damaged really quickly, I find. So I know I'm probably going to use some sort of heat tool to style it, so I try not to also use a blow dryer as well, just to kind of help with some of that. So I air dried my hair. I have absolutely no product in it, nothing at all. This is how it naturally air dried. I brushed it this morning, but that is the extent. You can see I have a little bit of a wave to my hair. You can see my roots are a little wavy. Underneath back here is also pretty curly, wavy. What I do is when I get out of the shower, I take a brush and I brush it out, and I find that if I let it air dry, it dries fairly straight. I mean, it's obviously not like super straight, but not super crazy and all over the place. My wave pattern has been crazy. My hair has changed a lot over the past few years in regards to texture and the wave that it does have, so it's been an interesting experience adapting to that. Okay, say hi, and then you need to go find something to do. Alright, so let's get started. I'm gonna just quickly take you through my very brief everyday hair tutorial. A few tools I use. I always have a comb on hand just to kind of help brush out each section as I am curling it. A couple of clips. I like these little guys, but I mean any sort of little like clip just to help section off your hair is great. Then let's talk product. Because my hair is thin and fine, as I keep saying, I actually don't like to use a ton of product because I find that it makes my hair feel really gross. So what I use almost every day is a dry shampoo. I love this one by Living Proof. It is great, but there are many great ones out there. I just particularly am on a Living Proof kick right now. I use this on clean hair, believe it or not. I find that it gives me a little bit of grit to a soft, just washed hair that isn't maybe gonna hold a curl as well as I want it to. So I'll use this on dirty hair as well, don't get me wrong, but I actually start with it on clean hair. So again, I washed my hair last night. I'm just gonna spray this the top of my roots here. And again, I just find that this helps give a little bit of volume and a little bit of grit. I'm gonna let that sit for a second while I gather the rest of my tools. And then after that has sat for, 30 seconds or so, I'm just gonna roughly kind of massage it into my scalp. Bless you. So then I'm just gonna section my hair, and I do 3 sections. I find that's all I need. So I do a little top section here, and I'm just gonna clip this, clip the top section up, and then I'm gonna do one more section with kind of the middle of my hair and leave the bottom section down. I use a flat iron to do my waves, but I use it kind of like a curling iron. So I'll show you guys my technique, but this is the flat iron I have been using. It is by Kristen S. It is the regular full-size flat iron. The plates are about 1 inch wide here. I like it because it's pretty. I like the aesthetic of it, to be completely honest. I like that it's white with gold. I like how it looks because I keep it out all the time. So I like how it looks first first and foremost. It also works really well. It has multiple heat temperature settings. I have mine set at 365, which is actually higher than I'm supposed to do according to the little guide per my hair type, but I find that it is the setting that works the best with my hair, so don't be afraid to experiment. So I do something a little bit weird, and I kind of straighten my hair before I curl it. My bottom section underneath all of my hair tends to be the curliest. You can see it's pretty curly here. I tend to keep this section of my hair completely straight. So I'm just gonna take the flat iron and just quickly, I don't wanna hold it on there a long time, but I'm just gonna straighten it out so that the ends are not kinky. This sits under all of my hair, obviously, so I don't really care about it being curly. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the top two sections of my hair where the curl part is concerned. I also like to keep my ends straight, even on the top, so this just helps that kind of blend in. If you wanted to keep your hair really curly, you could curl this. It's honestly hard because it's so short to do, but I like the look of it straight. So just super quick, roughly straighten that out. There we go, that section's done. Then I'm gonna let down the next section, that middle section that I just pinned up. This is the most hair as far as my sections go. So I'm gonna take a section, I usually start at the front here, and I'm just gonna comb it out just to make sure it's smooth. And then here's how I start. I take my flat iron and I do one kind of press through the whole length of my hair, and that just, I feel like, smooths out any kinks or waves. And that's all I do as far as straightening goes. And then I take the flat iron again a second time through, and this is where I do my curl. I'm gonna show you this several times, but on the first section, I take my flat iron, I clamp it kind of here at the base, I do one turn, I grab the tail here, and you hear that? I'm just gonna go down the length of my hair, opening and closing the flat iron. When I release, I do this twist here, and then I pull down the end. I'm gonna show you again, but here's my first little curl. Okay, so the next section, back. Again, I take about, I mean, this is kind of a long section, but it's not very wide. So I don't have that much hair here, as you can see, but take whatever sections you feel comfortable with for your hair type. I'm gonna take my flat iron again, one pass through to straighten and smooth. Then I'm just gonna comb it out again. And now for the curl. Okay, so I'm gonna clamp it at the root. Clamp it at the root, one turn away from your face, grab the little tail. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I don't grab it. And then pinch to the end. So this is hard to do and talk at the same time. Okay, let's do the next section back. Same thing. Take the flat iron, one pass through, comb it out, take the flat iron, clamp it at the base, one turn away, open and shut down the hair shaft, release it, twirl it, and pull. Okay, so I'm almost around my whole head. I think there's one more section back here. I don't really pay that much attention to the back, to be completely honest. I probably should pay a little bit more attention, but I mostly care about the pieces that are framing my face. The goal of this is I also want it to feel kind of messy, and so I don't really mind if it looks messy, because I don't want it to be like perfect curls. Okay, so I've done from the front to the back section, and I'm gonna do the same thing and meet in the back. You'll be able to see this a little bit better now that I'm back at the front. So I'm gonna take this front section, same thing, one pass through just to smooth it out, comb. Okay, this time I'm gonna turn still away from my face, so I'm gonna turn the other way that I was turning on the other side. So clamp it down at the base, one turn, clamp it down, twist, and pull. I'm not thrilled with this curl. I kind of missed the end a little bit. So I'm gonna do one more pass through here. I'm gonna comb it out. I'm gonna basically just repeat what I just did. One turn away from my face. Oh, see here, I'm releasing that front piece. That's my problem. So sometimes what I'll do, especially if your hair is a little bit shorter, instead of opening, you can also just pull down the length of your hair, twist, and pull. So I like doing the little, this as I go down, because I feel like it gives me less kinks and it gives me a little bit more of a natural looking wave. It doesn't look so like, oh, you used a hot tool. So I like that technique, but sometimes depending on where I am with my head and what your hair length is, that method might not work so well for you. So I'll show you the other method again one more time. I did this for forever. I have only recently started doing the open, this. I don't know what to call this. One pass through to smooth. Comb it out. Clamp to the root. One turn away from your face, and then just slowly pull as if you were straightening. I like to leave the end out just a tad. Release, twist, and pull. I find the pull at the end just helps it to not be so bouncy, because my goal here is not super tight bouncy curls. It's messy waves. The middle section is now done. So I have my very bottom section that is straight still down here, as you can see. I have the middle section, which has a little bit of a bend and a wave to it. We're gonna come back to this. We're gonna curl the top section, and then we're gonna come back and comb through and kind of put a little bit more product and fluff. But for now, we're just gonna let these curls that we did cool before we manipulate them. So I'm gonna take my top section down. There isn't that much hair up here. I'm gonna find my part. I do it a little bit differently up here in that I start at the back and I move my way forward and end at my face. I don't really know why I do that, but it's just what I've always done. So I'm gonna take slightly smaller sections up here, but I'm gonna do essentially the same thing. Take a section, straighten it first, comb it back out again. This is where my hair is the longest, obviously, the top of your head. So I have a little bit more length to work with. Take my flat iron, I'm gonna do the same thing. Clamp to the top, one half turn, it's not even a full turn. Clamp down until I get to the end, twist, and pull. Repeat with the next little forward section. Last one on this side. Okay, so here's where I have a lot of like weird new growth here. See? And I have, and that's really wavy. So I'm gonna take specific care to really kind of iron that out, just to make it smooth. Right at the root on this front piece before I bring it down. Okay, since this piece is at the front of my face, I'm a little bit more particular with how I curl this piece because I want it to obviously frame my face well. So where with all the other ones, I started right up here. I'm not gonna do that with this piece. This is gonna fall to this side with how my hair's parted. I'm going to start the turn right kind of at my eyebrow level here so that it's not like super curly right here as it goes across my forehead. I want this piece to fall smooth over my forehead and start to curl about right at my eye, and then it's just curly down here. So on this piece, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna clamp it right here at my eyebrow, turn. I just poked myself in the eye. Do this motion all the way down the hair, release, twist, and pull. So you can see it's smooth here, and then the curl starts exactly where I wanted it to, and just the little end is curly. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side as I did on the other one. With this front piece, I'm gonna start the curl right at my eyebrow, so a little bit lower than all the other pieces. Twist. And pull. So at this point, I'm just gonna look back through and see if there are any sections that need a little bit more assistance. I like to keep my ends straight. This little piece right here is bothering me a little bit. It's too like flippy outy. So I think I'm gonna go back here. And I think I just released too quickly, so the ends didn't get curled enough. That's better. So make sure all of your curls are completely cooled before you manipulate them anymore. Otherwise, all of that hard work you just put into putting in your curls is gonna fall out. The last thing I typically do is a texture spray. I'm gonna use this one from Kristen S today. It's just the dry finish working texture spray, but Living Proof also does a really good one that I have, and I know Shelby loves that one too. With a texture spray, I'm just gonna add a little bit more lift, grit, and hold. It does a lot of the same things that the dry shampoo does, but you can use this more all over your hair, more like a hairspray, whereas dry shampoo is really meant more for your roots. So I'm just gonna do a quick little coating. And then sometimes for a little more additional volume, I'll pick up this top section of my hair and just do a little spritz at the roots on each side and at the back. At this point, I'm just gonna run my fingers through my hair. I prefer this to a comb because I don't want to really comb out too much of the wave. I find that I like finger combing better. Kind of mess with it and manipulate it until I get the look I want. Usually I'll take the comb and do the back like this. Okay, and sometimes this happens. I'm finding that this piece that I tried to fix a second ago is still flipping out a little bit more than I want it to. So I'm gonna take my flat iron and I'm just gonna kind of like straighten it out so it calms down. All right, so that is how I do my flat iron waves with obviously a flat iron and just a couple of products. I have curled my hair with a flat iron for forever and ever. I have a curling iron and I use it from time to time, but I just find I like how it looks with a flat iron better. But I'm curious, how do you guys curl your hair? Do you use a wand, a curling iron, a flat iron? What do you do? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this tutorial. I know a bunch of you requested it. I am by no means a professional hairstylist, but this is what works for me. So hopefully you guys learned some tips and tricks today that you can try out yourself. I'd love to see your flat iron waves. Tag us on Insta story and we will share our favorites. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so that you never miss a video right here, and you can watch our latest video right here. We will see you guys next time. Bye!